Yeah. Welcome to the open book, where truth don't hide, stories ride, and every chapter got that power. Turn the page, now you stepping in, where real ones talk and the fake pretend. From viral heat to deep convo, we write the truth, let the whole world know. This ain't just a channel, it's a movement. The open book, every story, every voice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. Hope everyone is having a terrific Tuesday, okay? It is a beautiful day here in Texas. And I was like, y'all, let me get my live over with in the morning because I wanted to go live yesterday evening. And your girl just was not feeling it. I was a little tired. You know, when I'm not feeling it like that, I don't really like talking. Out tight, but I don't like to talk. Okay. And so this morning I am feeling more energetic and we have some things to go over. It's been a lot happening. Oh my goodness. Make sure you tap that like button as you come in. Let everyone know we are live. Also, if you would like to answer the poll question to be a part of that, make sure you vote in the poll. Okay. Good morning, my queen, my sis. Royal D is in the building. Thank you so much for joining, sis. And thank you for being first in the building. Also, y'all, if you would like to help me reach my goal today, you can send a super sticker, super chat for any amount. Also, my Cashapp is scrolling on the screen. Okay. Now, y'all, we're going to get into some things this morning involving the Romeca Meeks Blackmon case. As many of you have noticed, this thing has layers to it. Okay. At first, we thought this was going to be like a pretty much black and white type of thing because we were already seeking justice. You know, we kind of knew already who the person was that unalived her. So we were thinking, hey, this should be a quick process. Okay, we know who it is. She pretty much admitted it on camera. She was there, got arrested, blah, 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 blah. And we were thinking that this was going to be something fast, some quick justice. Okay, but what this has spiraled into now is a variety of different parts to this whole big puzzle. It has 100, 300, now 500 different pieces that everybody is trying to put together. Good morning, Letitia. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay. Let me also say this live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information used is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Now, we could pretty much say all of the shoulda, woulda, couldas in this case, okay? But the reality of it is one person did not walk away from that scene and is no longer here, okay? So now the focus is on justice for Romeca, right? Well, we had some witnesses that were there. One particular witness that we could hear on the video that had gone viral came forward and shared what happened, okay, from her vantage point, from what she witnessed there. Since then, there has been another witness that has come forward, and Nija Hall was the channel where she discussed what this witness stated. Okay, yesterday, Royal D, she showed it on her channel, and I was in and out at work, so I was missing pieces of it. So I wanted to kind of go over what was stated from this witness. If you haven't heard it, maybe this is your first time hearing it as well. I'm not going to play Nija's full video. If you want to see the full video, I did put the link in the description field of this video. But I do want to go over what the witness stated because there are some things that are not making sense, okay? And what we don't want to do with this case, because it's already seemingly a complicated situation, is to complicate it more with different narratives, Okay. People just coming out just to throw people off and all of that. Okay, we have a mixture of that. I like to look at things from all angles. I also like to stick with facts. When we start putting too much of our opinion into things, or they could have felt like this, it looked like, no, tell what happened. In a court of law, you have to tell facts and you have to be able to prove what you are saying. Okay, that's the only way you're going to get an indictment and a conviction. You have to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this took place, okay? And by that person. Good morning, Brittany. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We could say all day, oh, she should have kept going. Romeca was too aggressive. Romeca shouldn't have been out there popping off. Romeca should, okay. Hey, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. But does that mean that their life? Okay. Or to look at it from Carlin's view and say, man, that man is a dog. That Negro knew those two women out. Okay. D, can you hear me? I think it's bad. So, as I was saying, from different angles, and with Holly or Quadasia, she did admit that she shot her, but she claimed self defense. So then she, in a court of law, her lawyers would have to prove how was it self defense. Okay. Now we have this. Okay, thank you, D. We have this new witness, and I'm going to pull up that live. Um, Now the witness, one thing, y'all see, I'm a visual person. It's kind of hard for me to just. I mean, I can make my own visuals. I really hate to do that, but hey, the person is not talking on here. Okay, the person is not even seen or anything like that. Now, of course, okay, thank y'all so much. Of course, we wouldn't expect for them to show their face or anything like that, but you would think, oh, let me at least have a little screen up. Y'all know how if a person wants to be anonymous, they have a little screen and so forth. We didn't even have that. Okay. So all we're hearing on this is Nigel reading what she asked the witness and what the witness said from a transcript. Good morning, Jazzy J is in the building. That's all we have. Okay. So to me, that was a red flag because if you don't want your voice to be heard, there's different technology that person can use to distort your voice. Okay, if you don't want to be seen, it's different ways for you to cover up. So I don't know. That makes me feel some type of way too, and not necessarily on Nigel's part. Shout out to her for getting this information, but on the witness's part, okay? But I'm not going to put too much of my opinion out there because I want y'all to listen to it and put your opinion of what you think, about this. And then make sure you vote if you believe this witness or not. Good morning, Uncle Charles. Thank you for joining today. All right, let me do this. I'm going to cover up.
Witness that I spoke to. For obvious reasons, I am protecting their identity wholly, so I won't be playing any tape. I did not pay this witness. And it took me a while to put this out because I needed to verify that this person is who they say they are and that they were actually on the scene that day. And so we had the conversation. We talked on the phone for about 24 minutes, and I've transcribed the entire conversation right here. The witness is scared and probably suffering from PTSD. It took me a while to make them comfortable and reassure them of who I am and to let them know that they would have complete anonymity. So if you or someone you know has any information that will help us to move the needle forward on this story or any other story that I'm working on, then you have my full assurance that you will be protected. This person lives in the Chicago area, obviously, and this conversation took place around 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Oh, and before I read this, I'd like to add, there is another witness that I'm hoping to speak to, and I do have their information. And perhaps if they see this video and how I present facts when it's concerning an eyewitness, then they'll feel comfortable with coming and talking to me.
Okay, now y'all, let me just say this. With these witnesses, my thing is this. If you're a witness, make it official. Okay, because Nija is not the lawyer. She's not the police department. These different YouTube content creators, just get your story out there, what you saw and all of that if you want to. However, if we truly want justice for Romeca, why not make it official and put it on paper so it could go towards the cause? Help with the case, okay? Because telling different people and you not putting it out there officially, what is that really doing but confusing people? Because then you're going to have this account, then you got this account, then now a possible third person coming forward. Like, what is that doing? It's not an official statement that can be used in a court of law. Okay, so that's something to consider. I also don't know. Now, yesterday in Dee's chat, they were saying that she got this witness in contact with the witness from through a 911 call and got the phone number, but it looked like the witness reached out to her. Okay, so I guess we picking and choosing which content creators we calling to give. It's just a red flag for me. Like, we just have to be careful on people because right now is a very crucial and critical point in this, and this case is being highly covered. Okay, so there are going to be people to try different things. This is why I said there are various layers. Okay, now I'm not going to put it on Carlos and Holly because I have no proof of that. However, I'm pretty sure it looks bad for them. Okay, so of course they're going to want people to have their side and to make them look a little less guilty. Now, even with Carlos, if y'all have noticed, okay, even with the recent post that he's made, he is still trying to get sympathy. Okay, even for his son's birthday, he couldn't just say happy birthday. He had to start it off with, "Oh my gosh, this has been a hard day for me." Like, sir, it's a hard day for Romeca's family and your son. He does not even have his mom here to celebrate his birthday. So quit trying to get attention, quit trying to get sympathy, and face this. Face it, man. Like head on. Let's just face it. Okay, whatever your part was in it, go ahead, admit it, get it over with. Okay, but quit trying to get sympathy. So we're going to have a variety of things taking place. So you have to use discernment. You have to really think about it, okay, from a factual point of view on all of the things that are being presented.
So after a few minutes of getting acquainted and getting to know one another, I asked the witness, "Did you see the altercation from the beginning?" They said, "I was there, but I pulled off once I seen the woman pull the gun out. I came right back and Romeca was dead. All I can say is the way they're making the guy look is not
Good
true."
morning, Kay Brown.
Oof.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet
Okay,
Base
I want to
44.
pause there for a second.
He was trying to
Let's pause there. Okay, so you see a person. Hey, dreamy girl. Good morning, sis. You see a person there has a pow pow. Okay, you leave. So in you leaving, and you said when you came back, Romeca was unalive. If you drove off, you're going to miss something. Okay, so you didn't see everything because for one, that was strange. You saw a pow pow, and like I can see someone saying, "Let me get up out of here," because there's a pow pow. Now, in that moment, did you call the police? But you just drove off, and then by the time you came back, she was unalive. What did you miss during that time, witness? That's my question.
de-escalate. Also, the Mexican woman and her boyfriend were not out there when it first started. I said, "Okay, when did you arrive on the scene?"
Now that part is probably true because I think even the lady, the first witness, stated that she was getting off the bus, and that's when she heard some arguing. Okay, so she was not there, and the boyfriend. Remember, she said she had to call her boyfriend to come up there. He wasn't there either. Okay, so that part I could believe.
What point during the interaction? I did have to redact this part because it has identifying details, but this witness was in the area. The witness says that they saw all of the cars on the scene that were there and that they had made the left and went back up the street. Took care of a personal matter, and within about 2 minutes, by the time the witness got back to the corner that they started at, where they initially saw the beginning of an incident, they say they saw all of them in the street. I said, "Did it look like a physical fight between two people, two women, or who was fighting?" I did not see a physical fight at that moment. It was more him trying to get Romeca back in her car and she wouldn't go. She turned around and said something to that girl and came at her. That girl pulled the gun out. Romeca was still coming at her. When I seen the gun, I pulled off because that's how close I was.
Okay, so she's saying that they were pretty much arguing, okay, and he was trying to allegedly get Romeca back into the car. Okay, good morning, Miss Lady. Welcome. Right, D. I don't think she said that part yet, but yes, okay. And I could see that, okay. I could see there being some type of uh verbal going back and forth. But y'all, this still goes back to the part of why were they outside during that time, them together, okay? And what made Romeca pull over? Now, we've seen that he is a street man. And when I say street man, a lot of the videos, pictures that Romeca, we saw that she had, he was in the street. Okay, you were at the street harassing her allegedly at her house. Okay, she got a picture of you outside in the street at her house. She also got a picture of you outside in the street in front of the school. Okay, sir, you stay in the street. So were you in the street that day knowing that she was about to circle around? Because I still just do not believe, but like I said, we don't have evidence of this part yet. that it was a coincidence that she just so happened dropped her son off late, made a U-turn, and they right there. Like, come on, where's the missing little piece right there? Why were y'all still out there? And what made her pull over right there? Brittany said, and my thing is, who gives an F how other people are making Carlos look? He is making himself look guilty. Exactly. And notice, y'all, all of this time. Now, you have a girl that pretty much will probably take the fall for something you may have been in the middle of, allegedly. You know, that part's my opinion, of telling them different stuff, getting all this sparked up. Now, do y'all notice anything? He has not mentioned her, okay, on his post at all. When he came back and he, I don't know if he created this new page or reactivated the old one. I think it's a new one because it doesn't even have the old stuff on there. But it could be, he could have taken or hid the other stuff. He has not mentioned her. He was talking about Romeca when he came back. He had a picture of her talking about we not letting him grieve. Okay, so Holly's not even on his mind. Okay, she's still second, even with Romeca gone. Child, you are still second. He has not claimed you. He has not mentioned anything. He has not tried to defend her from people talking about her and calling her guilty and doing this. He could have at least said, baby, it was self-defense. She was protecting herself. We were trying to give Romeca the lead. He hasn't said anything in her defense. Okay, she out here by herself now, and that's what he's going to do. He would let her take the fall for everything. Miss Lady said, me too, Miss D. So she was able to just have her gun out in plain sight. This story is getting more and more disturbing by the day. Exactly. And who's running up on a person who has a visible weapon, a gun at that? The way they tarnishing Romeca's name is insane. Prayers to her family. Exactly. Okay. If you see a weapon, you don't have your weapon. You definitely not trying to run up on someone that has a weapon out, that's visible and can be seen. You're not trying to do that. Okay. And you don't have one. Baby, I would have been running back to the car, getting in the car, and ran over both of them. Okay, baby, it would have been. Now, I wouldn't have been trying to unalive them or anything, but I would have got him out of Dodge if that was the case. If he was really trying to get her into the car. Now, what does not make sense with this part, and how it does not coincide with the other witnesses. The other witness stated that she saw Carlos hitting Romeca in the back, okay, with the car door. Now, where does that go into play? Oh, was that when this witness drove off? Because remember, they left and then came back. So did you miss that part? I'm just curious.
I said, I don't blame you for pulling off. The witness says, the Mexican lady is lying. I called the police. I was going to keep going.
Now, I don't see how she could say the Mexican lady is lying. Okay. Yes, she may have called the police, but also there were multiple police calls. The first call was a battery call. This first witness, which was the Mexican lady, and I don't know if she's Mexican or not, but she said that she originally called 911 because that's when she saw Carlos doing all of that to Romeca. And we've heard that 911 call that it came through as a battery call. Then you started hearing calls about fighting in the street and all of that. Now this witness, okay, girl, you don't, how I want to say it, witness, because I'm about to go out. I'm sorry, person. Do you work for 911? Okay, how do you know how many calls were made to 911? Do you have all of the calls for that day, that morning, that time about this incident? So just because you call 911 does not mean no one else called 911. We don't have that part, okay? You don't know what calls were made. And we definitely have evidence of two. If you missed that short, I have a short showing both of the calls. Okay, so that's two right there. So yes, she may have called, but you cannot say that the other person did not call 911. Exactly. She don't know who called the police. Exactly. If you don't work there, you would not have record of that. Okay. So please stop trying to discredit the other witness. You don't know if they called or not.
But something told me to go back because I wanted to tell them it's not like that. By the time I came back, Romeca was on the floor. There were more people outside, and it wasn't even a 3-minute stretch. I don't know where all those people came from.
Now, wait a minute. This person left 2 times within 3 minutes. Okay, like I question every time you left, what happened? You left 2 times. So you're missing information. And I've never circled back to a scene more than once. Okay, if you're going to pull over and be nosy, pull over and be nosy. And I'm surprised too that people were not recording. If you saw all of this, is there some video footage? Where did you park? See, this is another thing I thought about with this. Okay. Y'all remember right there at the scene, okay, it's 2 lanes that you can drive, keep driving, and all the traffic in those 2 lanes. Now, to the side, to the right, there is a part where cars can park right there directly to the side. Okay. Now, there's a little space where it's not quite in the street, but if you double park, you're out of the way. Okay. You're kind of right there out of the way. Now, think about this with this part. This person here, they said they left 2 times and came back. Where were you? Okay, because we know Carlos looked double parked in the little area right there where it's not quite blocking traffic, but it's not in a parking spot. Romeca's car is kind of double parked right there behind Carlos. Holly, her car looked in one, like it was in one of the spots. Baby, where did you pull over? Because you know all this circling around. Did you just circle around and park behind Romeca's car? Where were you? See, it's not enough details right there for me. It was no parking right there. It's too many cars parked right there for you to see and hear all of this. And if you're being nosy, y'all know how we like to be nosy when something going on the side of the road. Child, that the way she's talking about all of this sounds like you just stopped flat in the middle of the street to catch all of this. You wouldn't have caught all of that just driving by slowly being nosy. You would have had to have pulled over. But where? Where did you pull over at? Because you couldn't have pulled over on the left to watch because you're in traffic. Traffic keeps going down both of those lanes, okay? It was no space really unless you pulled up behind Romeca's car to be nosy. So where did you park? That's my question. This lady said she was murdered in cold blood. How come the only 2 people who was questioned was Carlos and Holly? All of the other people we saw out there. Well, allegedly they said Carlos was intimidating the people, and they were saying don't snitch and don't give statements and stuff like that. Are you going to be looked at as a snitch? And in Chicago, I heard they take that very seriously if you're a snitch. So people get intimidated. People get scared. They don't want to speak up. They don't want to be involved. However, in a case like this where a son has lost his mom, even if you have to go or call and give an anonymous statement, a truth, okay? We're not saying call and make up something. If you were there was some people we saw definitely in that footage. Besides the Hispanic couple, there were 2 others that we saw there. Where are they? Okay, where are those people? Make an anonymous statement to the police. Okay, the tips line. Tell them what happened if you were out there. You don't have to keep calling, oh, let me call this YouTube person, because it does nothing for the case. It really doesn't. It's just stuff for us to talk about. Okay, we're not the court of law. Now we're a court of public opinion. We could break this down. We're probably doing better than the investigators. Okay. But we can't do anything. We can't indict Quadasia or Carlos. We can't charge them. We can't convict them. But if you saw something, say something. If no more than to get justice for this mother and for this son that lost his mother, and also for her mom that lost a daughter. Okay, if you saw something, say something. But yes, going back to this witness, where were you in all of this that you left, came back? Where did you park? Okay, you couldn't have pulled over to the left, and you saw quite a lot. Okay, no, you've been listening to the other witness because you wouldn't have known. Oh, I think they were a couple. I don't think that witness called. How do you know all of that by just peeking and looking in at this situation?
They weren't even there before. I said, well, they probably heard or saw an altercation and came back around. Then the witness says, the Mexican woman says in the video that she got off the 21 bus. There is a bus stop closer there, but it's on the other corner. And I know people are saying that those two people set Romeca up, but that's not what it looked like at all. I said, that's not what you witnessed. And then I did ask about the witness that we heard.
See, that's opinion. You said it didn't look like at all. And that does confirm what the other witness said. She did say she was getting off the bus. Okay. She even said that when the gunshots went off, there was a coffee shop. She used the word smoothie. I think she said smoothie shop. That she was telling people don't come out, which we saw was kind of down the street, across the street, from that block. Okay. So that goes with what the witness is saying. She's already said that part, that she was getting off the bus and that it was right there by the smoothie shop. So I don't understand that part. It confirms what the other witness just said. Also, Miss Lady said, I have a theory. I saw a video with Romeca saying she has a lot of money on an insurance policy for her son. I'm sure she was the beneficiary, but could she had someone else on that policy as well? Okay. Now she said that publicly. Wow, I haven't heard that. Yeah, exactly, D. Like something deeper is going on with this case. Exactly. It's so sad, Letitia. Exactly. That's how you was looking at it, but how you know it was not a setup. Exactly. That's an opinion. See, that's what I'm saying. This here, if you listen to words, certain things that were said, it looks as though it is trying to discredit the other witness and what the other witness has said. Okay, because from you just passing by a scene, you wouldn't know all of that. You wouldn't know. Oh, it wasn't a setup. It was. How you know just by passing by? You wouldn't have known all of that.
In the video that was with her boyfriend or her man friend that was loud. And that witness went on to do an interview on another platform last week, I believe. So I said, there's a person who claimed that they got off the 21 bus. From your vantage point, was that possible? You also said the Spanish-speaking person might not be telling the whole truth. The witness says, I don't think so. And especially about the headlock situation. What I can make out is some licks were passed and he grabbed Romeca, but not holding her down for that woman. It was not like that at all. He grabbed her and the other woman did what she did. She shot her. They were not tag teaming her at all. I kept seeing him trying to push Romeca to get back in her car. He said, get the F back in your car. She would wiggle away from him and then charge at the other woman again. So I said, they weren't jumping her.
What can disqualify you from getting a life insurance policy? With us, nothing.
Who appeared to be the most aggressive person on the scene? She said, Romeca. The young lady took the picture.
Objection. Subjective. Okay. Hey, honey, 5K gangster goddess is in the building. Objection, speculation. Okay, because the witness left a couple of times. Okay, did she witness Carlos being the aggressor at one point? Because how did we get from Carlos with one witness account was the aggressive one, okay, trying to hold Romeca. She would try to leave. He was holding her, then grabbed her, put her in a headlock, to him being protector. He went from aggressor to protector. How? In what moment? What moment? Okay? Because that's not making sense to me. Okay, hey, D family of 3, welcome. That's probably some of, right. That's not making sense to me. He went from aggressor to protector. Oh, I'm going to hold you. I'm going to slam the door on your back, allegedly. And then, oh no. Oh no, she's about to go get her pow pow. Oh, hey, come on, get in the car, get in the car. Is that really how that transpired?
Pistol out. Did you see her approach Romeca with a gun, or was she just standing there? The witness says she did not approach Romeca at all. She never stepped away from her car. So I said, so she was by her car. The witness says, and she did not go inside her car. The gun was on top of her car.
Okay. Wait a minute. Stop the press. Objection. Now, the thing of it is, that also confirms that the other witness said that they were not close to each other. That confirms that part. Now, y'all remember the other witness said that Holly went to her car, okay, to the passenger side and got the pow pow out of the car. This witness is saying that the pow pow was on top of the car. Well, either a couple of things. She went and got it and then put it on top of the car, or it was already on top of the car. If it was already on top of the car, all you're doing is confirming even more that this was a setup. Okay? You're confirming that with this witness. Because if I am out here arguing with you and we get into it, or if I pulled up and I saw y'all out here and you already have a pow pow on top of the car, that means that you were ready for this. You knew what you were about to do. This witness confirmed premeditation. Okay? That's what that confirmed. That confirmed. Because I know if I already have my pow pow out, is waiting. So if I can get you here and we're arguing and you get to a point where you're so mad. Now, remember the first witness said Holly was allegedly taunting Romeca, which probably made her, now Romeca did not look like a punk, that she gonna let you do that. So I'm pretty sure she got upset. It was probably going back and forth with her. Now, here is the turning point that we really don't know what happened. In that instant, when all of that happened, how, because it probably happened so fast, something made Holly grab it. And the other witness said Romeca was trying to get away. And when she shot her in the leg, and I guess when her body turned to go back to her car, then that's when she shot her in the side of her face and chin area. It was almost to the side, like she was trying to get out of there at that point. Okay. Her body looked like it was angled right there in between her car and Holly's car on the ground, from Romeca's passenger side towards the front and Holly's car on the left on the driver's side. Her body was positioned there. So she was somewhere in between her vehicle and Holly's vehicle towards the front. Her body was not found on her driver's side. Okay, so that's something else to think about during, with the positioning of a body. Those are things that they look at. Okay, let's see. Miss Lady said, yes, Letitia, something is not right with the story. It's so sad. The family members still talk to Carlos and everything. Ain't no way. Oh, no, it's no way. That made me so mad the other day about giving kudos or props to him and all of that. Like, y'all too comfortable talking to him for me. If it was anyway, I don't care if he was her son's father or whatever. No, I'm not having contact with you. I have nothing nice to say to you until you get justice for your baby mother, someone you claim you love. Okay? I wouldn't have anything to say to you. I would be turning over all evidence to the police. I would block you, all of that. And you definitely better not show up at my house, or I think you're about to come see your son till we can get all this cleared up. You better do what's right. Okay, whether we knew him prior to Romeca or not, whether he got money or not. It would be nothing nice I had to say about you or to you if this was potentially your fault, which you called her mother and said that. Okay, so I don't know. Some of that, we talking and all that, no, I wouldn't have nothing to say to him until you try to make this right. Good morning, Queen Shailene. Thank you for joining. Okay, I wouldn't have anything nice to say to him or about him. Because he needs to make this right. His other baby mama unalive his baby mama. How are you trying to fix this? What are you trying to do besides get sympathy? No. They too comfortable for me talking to him.
So I said, the gun was already on top of the car. Then are you saying that she grabbed it and Romeca was coming toward her and she fired a shot? The witness says, once she upped that gun, I pulled off. Anything after that, I don't know. So then I said, so you saw her take the gun from the top of the car? The witness says, yes. I asked, was a car door open? The witness says one of their car doors were open. All the cars were parked. Both female drivers' doors were open. I said, where was Carlos when Romeca was approaching Holly? The witness says, in the middle, trying to break it up. Romeca kept breaking from him, like I said, and started running to the girl. The girl pulled the gun. He instantly went to Holly and was pushing her arm down, like putting her hands down on her forearm. So he tried to stop it.
So allegedly, when she was trying to run towards Holly, he went and tried to put Holly's arm down when she had the weapon, trying to stop her from shooting Romeca. Okay. Now, my wondering is, where does the headlock part comes from? Okay, because the other witness stated that he had Romeca in a headlock at one point. The family is keeping the enemy close for a reason, I believe. Okay, so you think it has a purpose? Okay. This content creator just wanted clout. Look, they'll say that's subjective.
The witness says, and Romeca was still coming, and I pulled off. I got out of there. The witness says, yeah, and he grabbed her, and that's exactly how it happened. What I did witness was that man trying to de-escalate. That's the honest truth. Then I said, as for his emotions, he seemed shocked. Most of us don't know what we do in that situation. And the witness said, exactly, and he kept telling the crowd to get back. He was just standing around walking in circles, dazed. And a lot of the bystanders were really loud, and it was a lot happening. And he probably thought that they would attack Holly. And then I had to ask about the...
Wait a second. Now, the part we saw, he was walking around all right. He looked like he was in charge of the whole scene. Okay. He didn't look dazed to me. It looked like he was going over there checking. Did he try to render aid, witness? Was he trying to stop the bleeding, witness? Okay, I'm curious to know. Since you saw so much, he was not even just telling them to stand back, but he was also throwing out, it was self-defense. It was self-defense. Okay, he was trying to make sure that people knew, oh, this was self-defense. He had already tried to think ahead. Okay, Holly didn't look like she was in fear of the crowd. She was telling them it was self-defense. I'm licensed to carry. She had her little reason already ready too. Okay, so a person that's dazed and they're in shock would have shown different types of emotions. That would have been the last of their concern as to what the people believe why this happened. Okay, that would have been the last concern. Did they call 911? Did Carlos call 911? Was he one of those 911 calls? If the pew was on top of the car, that's a charge right there. This doesn't help Carlos. I believe the Spanish girl. Exactly. Thank you. It helps the other women. Okay, and it shows premeditation because you already had it pulled out. Is that what you're saying? You already had the pow on top of the car when she drove up. You had thought that thing through in that case. Okay, so it's not helping their case at all. This witness. Now, Carlos, if this is one of his people, it's kind of trying to help him. It ain't trying to help Holly. Okay, he's trying to help himself. Oh, Carlos, oh my gosh. He was trying to protect Romeca. Oh my goodness. He was in shock. He loved her. He didn't want this to happen. He was even trying to get Holly to not do it. Yet y'all had the restraining order, paperwork. Y'all were waiting there. Come on now. You already had what you were gonna say. Okay.
Latino or Spanish couple, or the people with the Spanish accents again. I says, from the video, I saw a man walking around and a girl that was angry or loud with a Spanish accent. Those two were the loudest and most recognizable voices in the video. And the witness says, yeah, I think they might have been a couple, or they were at least together or something.
How she
The
know
witness
that?
really went on to be regretful and lament about how they couldn't show up and do an interview because they see the online discourse that's happening and they wanted to clear it up and tell people what they saw. Now, this really flips the narrative and it de-villainizes one person and it makes the other look like the aggressor.
Now, the only thing that with that person saying that was, I think that they were a couple. Well, you've been listening to the other witness account, okay? Because just by seeing two
Hey
Hispanics
y'all, I'm Mark Russell, a
out
financial
there,
wellness board member with a national debt relief. And I've seen firsthand how overwhelming it can feel.
In the next portion of the
just by
conversation,
seeing two Hispanic people out there, you're assuming that's an assumption. You don't know if they together, if they were just hanging out, you know what I'm saying? So that showed that they've been listening to the other one. Also, now that she said this switches, it makes Romeca the aggressor. Okay. Bam. This is the point of that particular interview, is to make Romeca look like the aggressor in the situation. Shailene said, I don't believe her. How would she know what took place if she drove off after seeing the people? Right. And she drove off multiple times. You're missing things. Those things happen quickly. Okay. So by you driving off 2 times, and check this out. Okay. So you felt some type of way, which is why you came back the second time. Oh, so you don't feel some type of way to go and officially make a statement to the police. You called a whole content creator or got in touch allegedly with the content creator to put your statement out for what? Because you're trying to change a narrative. That should not be your purpose. Your purpose should be to get the truth out. Okay. A lot of things are opinions, subjective, not facts. And I don't believe unless you parked, you would have seen this much stuff. Now, you could have, seen people in the street fighting. Oh, you could have possibly seen a girl holding a pow pow. In the world we live in, you mean to tell me nobody but a couple of people had a camera recording? Okay, and most of those people caught it during the aftermath. We haven't seen any video footage of any of the beginning parts of this before Romeca was unalived. No footage. So everybody got the same footage. Okay. One person, I guess they really got rid of that video. Thank the Lord. He caught it. The angle he caught was actually of Romeca on the ground. Okay. Nobody wants to see that. But a lot of it was caught during the aftermath, not at the beginning. Okay. And y'all know a lot of people are quick to take those phones out and record. So for this person, my question would have been, okay, where were you? How did you see all of this? Were you parked or were you just driving by? If you were just driving by, it's no way possible you would have this many details. All you probably would have seen was a fight, people in the street. You wouldn't have even paid attention to who all was standing around unless you got out somewhere.
I let the witness know that I did request the 911 tapes. And since they were one of the people that called the 911, then myself and probably other outlets would be playing the tapes. And the witness says, if that's the case, then that's fine. I just don't want to do any interviews with my voice right now. I did call the police because nobody else was trying to. If the video comes out or if you put it out.
Okay, and my question to Naija is that 911 call, why wasn't that played? If they didn't want to be interviewed, why not just play the 911 call?
You'll hear exactly what I told the police on the phone. And if there's video around, you can see my car in the area. I was there. I asked the witness, has Chicago PD called them? And they said, yeah, the day that the lady was getting released. They wanted me to come in, and I told them, no, leave me alone. I don't want to be put in there and end up on a stand. I don't even know how you got my number. I didn't even know that once you call the police, they could get your phone number. I just didn't think that far about all of this. And I told the witness that's why a lot of people don't come forward. They don't want their voice, their likeness, their license plate, and address.
So it looks like she found this witness because the girl or whoever this witness is said, I don't even know how you got my phone number. So she didn't want to go to the police station to make a formal statement. The other witness said she didn't want to be put on the stand either. Okay, so a lot of these people are in fear for their lives, which is why they don't really want to get involved in this. I mean, I get that part of it, but at the same time, what is this doing also? You see what I'm saying?
It's out there. The witness says, hey, people are going to be really mad at me. The witness also said they didn't want their voice out there because they see what's happening online and the people that are getting demonized in this case, and they don't want to be attacked because
the only people being demonized are Holly and Carlos. So don't make a general statement like that, because who else? Who else is part of the case? Those are the main people that were there, and one admitted that she did it.
what they're saying that they saw does not fit the narrative of who people want to portray the deceased to be. I firmly believe you can be a very loving, doting mother and still be a scrapper out there in the street. You can fawn over your child and still want to fight your baby daddy's other baby mama. You are allowed duality, and that's one thing that's really difficult, that's going to be really difficult to accept in this case, especially as details are unfolding. And let me just go ahead and tell y'all this. What I've been sent while I'm validating that second eyewitness almost repeats this verbatim. The witness just says, I wish a gun was never pulled. They could have just fought like they were doing, and they could have both been in bed with their babies. But nobody was really right there when it first started. And
what's going to happen is the things that we say and how we analyze this interview, the other witness will fill in the blanks or try to correct some things. See, that's why you can't have witnesses in the same room asking them questions. You want to have them apart. You want to have the Holly and the Carlos in different rooms, ask them questions. You'll probably get different things because they probably haven't thought through everything. Okay, have the witnesses in separate rooms. That's how you do. Because see, right now, things have been contaminated. Okay, statements have been made publicly. So if people want to change a narrative, it's very easy to do that. You just listen to the other statements and say, oh, okay, I'm gonna say this part. Okay, if that can be done easily. I never heard of people phone numbers being given out. That sounds so bogus to me. And you know what, honey, 5K, that's what I said yesterday. I was like, so you mean to tell me when people call 911, now I know that the police and 911, all of that can get that info, but I didn't know that people off the street could just call up, unless you a lawyer on a case or something like that. But if you're not, that you could just call and be like, oh, can you give me the phone number to that 911 call? I've never heard of that. And if that's the case, they need to change that because I had never heard of people doing that. Never.
I didn't record it. I was just being nosy and looking. The witness goes on to say, if folks were there from before, then there would be video of that whole little thing before the shooting. But
well, we said that too. And why didn't you get video of before?
There's not one single video before the altercation, not one. So then I asked, from the time you saw them getting physical until you pulled back around, how long was that? The witness says it couldn't have been any more than about 2 minutes. The witness goes on to say, I had pulled over to talk to the police. Then I was going to keep going to the grocery store like I was on my way to do something.
She said she pulled over to talk to the police. Was there an official statement made to the police? Do they have that information?
Told me to go back because I wanted to tell them what I saw. I wish I would have said something then, but that gun, the witness voice cracks. It was so fast. Once I seen the gun, I left, honestly.
We are gathered here today to discuss matters of national importance and to reaffirm our commitment to seniors.
I'm glad I left. I don't ever want to see somebody's life ending. Even though I seen her out there, that's still in my head. I think about that woman every single day, all of them. I wish it was another way. And I asked the witness, could they hear any words? Could they make out what any one of them were saying?
You brought up a great point, honey 5K. That is so true. If she was able to get a phone number, could other people call and get the phone numbers? Then you could look up witnesses. Like, that's crazy. I wouldn't have said that. Like, seriously. D Family said, I think the female who's supposed to be reading the paper probably making up stuff from what she heard. Okay. Allegedly. Okay. I'm like, because some of this, for one, in a court of law, I would say she's leading the witness on some questions. I would object and say you're leading the witness.
And the witness says, one thing that Holly did say out there was, you keep fucking with everybody about this. You keep fucking with everybody. She said.
Now, when she said, you keep effing with everybody, I do remember the other witness saying she heard Romeca say, I was just dropping off my son. I was just dropping off my son. So that kind of goes with that piece. I could see her saying that. Because the first witness did say Romeca was saying, I was just dropping off my son. I was just dropping off my son, you know. So I don't know if maybe they accused her of stalking them, looking for them, and she was saying why she was in the area. For real, she fabricated a whole story.
That. And also, I've been seeing Carlos or somebody put up videos of Romeca being aggressive outside of Disney. And I said, yeah, I saw those. And the witness said, yeah. Is that what you saw that day, like in those videos? The witness says, I did. His body was in front of hers and she was in her car door. Her car door was open and she was standing up. I really couldn't hear what Carlos was saying because she was the one yapping. It's an interesting use of words. So I said, what was she saying to him? I really can't remember, but she was the one talking. I said, was she yelling or talking like you and I? More high-pitched, but not super loud with profanity. That's why I stopped my car initially. She was standing in her driver door, but he just couldn't just pull her in the car and make her sit down. She stood in it so he couldn't push her in the car. She said something, then turned to Holly. Then Holly said something. Then Romeca turned to the side, ran around Carlos and started going toward Holly. And she asked her what, and I had to take this part out to redact it, what something was. She went at her. The other woman literally turned around, grabbed the gun off the top of her car outside, and I pulled off. She was still going at her. While he was breaking it up, Holly said, I'm tired of you fucking with everybody about this. That's all I could make out that was said. I really can't even remember anything else after that. I just thought it was a regular fight. So I asked, so when Romeca was standing in her car door and talking, was Carlos across from her? Because at this point, I'm trying to get a good gauge of where everybody was. The witness says, no, he was literally at her car door trying to get her back in the car. I said, and Holly? The witness said,
and allegedly, they said that Holly was hitting on Romeca's car as well. Okay, so I don't know if that part was somewhere up in there, and this witness did not mention that. But the other witness did say that she was taunting her, saying things. And this witness, I mean, if you think about it, she is saying that Holly is saying some stuff, you know, and she's not going into full details, but there were words, okay? At one point, Romeca was, according to this witness as well, in her car, you know, door area, okay? Was that during the time Carlos was trying to possibly get her into the car? Or was he hitting her in the back with the car door? Okay, so those are things right there that kind of on a little gray area.
Holly wasn't nowhere from her car. She was standing in her car with the driver door open, with her back to the car. She didn't appear aggressive to me until the woman started coming at her. And it started to dawn on me, this is probably why the police didn't prosecute. And also, they know way more than we know. This is speculative, but I'm willing to bet that Holly and Carlos were probably able to show previous conversations where they were being threatened, and Holly felt valid in her fear against Romeca.
Okay, and they could show their proof, but Romeca is no longer here to show her proof. Okay, her phones. So to me, that's one sided. Because what were they doing? Excuse me. When those videos picked up, a lot of the videos that even the guy Q was showing, it showed Romeca's reaction. It didn't show the full conversation as far as from another person recording, caught them off guard and saw both sides. It didn't show all of that. It only showed her as the aggressor and the things she said to them. What did you say to get the response? We need to see the whole thing, not just her response.
And just to add another point, I got some screenshots from another source, and they corroborate this version right here. And they say that Holly's baby was in the back seat of her car, and Romeca was going for one of the windows. So if that baby was in the back seat and she's going for the window, and keep in mind the restraining order protects Holly and her baby, I'm trying to.
Now, I don't. This is my first time hearing about protection, restraining order protection for her and the baby. Okay, on the restraining order on the website, it showed just for her name was on there. Okay, so now they're trying to make it look like Romeca was trying to come for her baby too. Now that part, this is new. We had not heard anything about this restraining order covering her and her baby. Why would Romeca try to come for her baby? Like those are different questions, okay? But why would Carlos put her in the headlock? Exactly. Where did that part come into play?
Just trying to understand how we could go from a physical fight to a gun being drawn. But let me get back to the witness statement. The conversation went on for a few more minutes, and I did ask the witness, would they be willing to allow me to record their voice and skew their voice? And the way we edit voices, nobody could even tell if you're male or female. But the witness declined, and I have no choice but to respect that. The witness did say, I wish there was a way I could help him, but I really don't know what else to do, because I don't really see what they could charge him for. I saw him try to smack her.
Why would the focus be on helping Carlos? He wasn't the one that went to jail. He hasn't been charged with anything. She would have been charged. Okay, and they're investigating her. But why are you trying to help Carlos? That is ding 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 ding. Red flag. Objection. Okay, to make it seem like she was going to do something to the baby is so crazy. Exactly. That is crazy.
Arm down. He looked so stressed out. That man looked lost. He looked dazed. That's the crux of the conversation. And this changes things. This changes the narrative on what guilt looks like. On the last video, we talked about what the
changes the narrative on what guilt looks like as far as with Holly, because who's guilty? Romeca's not here. So that didn't help Holly's case. It made it look even more premeditated, in my opinion. Exactly, because you've never even found a real witness. Exactly.
Possible charges could be if the state decided to prosecute. Would it be involuntary or voluntary manslaughter, first or second degree murder? Chicago doesn't really recognize third degree murder. If Romeca did pull up and approach them at the 2200 block of South State Street, the school was not there. This was where Carlos was near. And by the way, their son was able to attend that school because they were able to use the father's address. Carlos did not know where Romeca lived. Another fact is Romeca is said to have been in a relationship for a couple of years with a man whose name starts with an M, allegedly. So to reiterate, despite what we thought, there was a physical confrontation. In the first video we made about this case, I said that Romeca made a U-turn to pull up to Carlos and Holly. Some reports say she might have needed to make that U-turn anyway to get on the highway to go wherever she was going. A source tells me that Carlos was going to the gym. Romeca's cousin also said that Carlos mentioned to her that he was going to the gym. So Romeca would have known the whereabouts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to stop there with that one. Yeah. I'm going to take the overlay off. Okay, yeah. it's a lot of red flags with that video. For me, a lot of things that I think they did was listen to the first witness and try to fill in the blanks and try to change the narrative pretty much with this witness. How did that witness know that information? How did she know that they used the address so that their son could go to the school? Well, I don't know if the witness is saying that. I think that was what Naja was stating, that she found out. And I mean, I could see that his place is not that far from the school, like a block or two down. You know, you have to come down the street and make that right. Um, so I could see that, but I thought they said Carlos doesn't live right there. So see how stuff, yeah, okay, that is probably where his friend said he stayed. That's probably where he did stay. Probably hasn't shown up there because fear that people may try to come there and try to find him. He probably hasn't been back since all of this happened, but to probably get some clothes or something like that. Then y'all, this is another thing that happened on yesterday. So a lot of you may watch Keys News Network, okay? And so I am a supporter over there as well. And he was going to do a live. Y'all gotta show this little part. Y'all was too tickled last night. Oh my God. He was going to show or talk about this interview and break it down, okay? Because he wanted to go over it and kind of dissect what the people, that person said, and see what the people thought and so forth. And he asked her, Naja, under her comment section, if he could do that. And she said that she would email him and then change her mind, y'all. Let me show y'all a clip of what Keys News stated during the beginning of his live yesterday.
She initially gave me permission to cross-examine the footage. This is her. I said, can I use your footage for the transcript? She said, yes, thanks for asking, Keys. Then she even said, what's your email? I will hit you there. I miss comments sometime, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention. This lady that worked with Pee Wee Herman, Bill, whoever the fuck that dude be spinning the chair like Dr.
Oh,
Evil,
yeah.
Bill, not a science guy, whoever the fuck she.
That part took me out when he said if she worked with Pee Wee Herman or Bill Nye the science guy. What's so funny, y'all? Bill Nye came on the other day, and I just broke out laughing because he does remind me of him. Oh my goodness!
Right? She didn't renege. I got a phone call 5 minutes before the show started, y'all. I will show y'all the call, but her number saved in. Now, she didn't piss me off, but not to the point I would expose her number. But I'm going to expose the truth. For those people saying it was a fake witness, why I got to be a fake witness now? I see people up in the chat. If it wasn't a fake witness, why can't I cross-examine the footage? Now, she had the nerve to tell me. This is what she just told. This is not the show I intended for y'all. We're going to get to the content. I just want to bust her ass out right quick. You know what I'm saying? And then Big Keys get tipsy a lot. And I know, right? I get tipsy on the weekends. And when I was trying to get a good thumbnail for the shit, your eyes kept going this way. I ain't know you had blue eyes. Nah. One of the motherfuckers blew that way and the other one blew that way. You got me fucked up, right? Now, y'all talking about it ain't a fake witness. Why she ain't want me to do the cross-examining of her statement, right? Because she done wrote some shit out. They put it on the paper. We don't know who the hell wrote that. So since Naja did a statement, that's what Naja did. I would like to do a statement for y'all. Can I read y'all a statement that a witness sent me? I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two. And I said how we wish we had something to do.
Baby, I said if it's not green eggs and ham, I was tickled.
Wet to go out and too cold to play ball. So wet in the house, we did nothing at all. So all we could do was sit. And we did not like it, not one little bit. And she don't get that Dr. Seuss ass shit. She done sat there and made some bullshit. Now when it's time for me to cross-examine the bullshit, we all know that was bullshit. Now she called me before the show talking about, that's why I had to switch the thumbnail Everybody, y'all see, I switched the thumbnail. She said, I'm asking you, please, can you take it down? But she told me I could use the shit, y'all. This is my proof. She told me I could use the shit. Now I think Candyman, listen, I think Candyman Los got to it, y'all. I honestly think, for real. I'm not capping. Ask her tomorrow. I dare y'all, go over to her show tomorrow. She talking about she gonna drop another witness statement. She just sitting in her bedroom making witnesses and shit, type shit. She went up in the washroom, said Candyman Los 3 times.
It's never been easier to start a podcast than with Riverside. First, go to riverside.fm and open an account. You didn't wrote these statements after did Carlos put the demo in you? Did Carlos put the demo in you? Did he get you too? Type shit. Did you give him the utmost props for giving you the witnesses, y'all? So once again, I want y'all to screenshot this. I want y'all to talk to her ass tomorrow. She claims she's doing the show tomorrow, right? With another statement. She's just making these motherfucking witnesses up as we speak. You had your own papers. You said I wrote the transcripts. How can you write the transcripts down for the witness? You ain't no goddamn stenographer, bitch. Who the fuck is you? She said I wrote the transcripts down for the witnesses. How? It's all sorts of. It's a different way the lingo is. It's a different way a person talk. How did you write? So now the witness can come out and say, I didn't say that shit. She got it wrong. Type shit. Who is you to sit there and write a transcript? Mind y'all, she got these witnesses. She said that the witness said they didn't want their voice heard. She said the witness said they didn't want their face shown. She said the witness said they didn't want their initials even put down on the motherfucking paper. So who is this on this paper? What type of witness was this? Who the fuck was this Lori Lightfoot? Was Lori Lightfoot the witness? What type of witness said I don't want my voice heard? We live in 2025, y'all. You can get you a voice modulator to change the witness. Look, her witness could have did this shit.
Hey y'all, I'm Nigel Witness. This is Nigel Witness. I saw Rat Boy Los, and he was with Holly Scary, and I was scared, and they were scared, and she was shooting everybody. Type shit. I don't know what she could have.
I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, this busted ass bitch. You could have used that on the witness. Is you crazy, right? So now when the truth about to come out, you know you made some bullshit. You done got with a witness that done gave you a bullshit statement. And this is why witnesses don't touch the stand, y'all. This is why witnesses don't touch the stand. False witnesses, because when the lawyer cross-examine you, it's different. You could put anything on paper. Right. You can give any police statement outside the court. Once you're in that court, it's a whole different ball game type shit. But I just want, before we get to the show, and I'm gonna open up the lines. I'm not gonna keep y'all here long. Remember, this is Nigel. Let me drop my banner. This is her saying I can use her footage. She was gonna email me and everything. Right? She was like, yeah, anytime. Let me drop my banner right quick, right? Boom. What that say, y'all? Yes, thanks for asking, Keys. What's your email? I hit you there. Listen. I'm the opposite of Carlos. Carlos better than me. He got a thing with the women, y'all. We gotta admit that, y'all. Now he got Holly Scary. He had Roro. Now he got Lit Nigel with Bill, now the science guy. He the opposite of me. Everybody, every female I come in contact with, we be getting into it. Type shit. I done got into it with both the aunts. Now I'm into it with this bitch. Who the fuck is you? You ain't even in Chicago. Once again, another person that's not even in Chicago. You got this desk set up like you in motherfucking what was that show back in the day? The Box. You don't get this friendly box ass shit. Good long, so farewell to you, my friend. This box ass, this Zoom meeting ass desk setup you got, and you gonna call my phone. Talking about, can I take your picture down? You got me next to Carlos. How the witness was next to Carlos? I said, so I tell Nigel, I say, so you telling me? I said, well, I'm speaking the truth for the people. I said the people thought that your witness statement was shaky. So are you telling me that you're gonna go and delete all the comments of the people that had something to say about that? I'm not saying that. You know, they did give me some bad reviews on that. Then what is you talking to me for? type shit. Now I took it down because I don't got time. I'm already dealing with restraining orders. I got the other auntie with the bogus ass hair care products. Now I got this lady that worked with Pee Wee Herman on my ass. What the fuck is what's to y'all type shit now? Right? Crazy work for real. This is crazy.
Oh my gosh, y'all, Keys is funny to me, and I don't even think. Hold on, y'all. Make sure. Okay, I don't even think he tries to be like that. He just really talking, but it comes out funny to me. But if you would like to come up and share your thoughts on anything we talked about this case, about anything today, you're welcome to hit that link and come up. But I just pray that, justice is served, that we don't have to, go through any reindeer games. Okay. Can we just stick with facts and things that can be proven in the court of law, and to, if in any way possible, to give truthful statements to the police or investigators that will help with this case. Okay, because all this other stuff is doing is to create different narratives, trying to discredit other witnesses and so forth. And we don't even need to do that. Okay, it's already difficult for the family. They're grieving and things like that. So why would we want to add extra stress to it? Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't look at things from different angles. Okay. We could definitely do that because, but keep it factual. Okay. But y'all, that was all that I had. Did anyone want to come up? I didn't know. Y'all saw the link if you want to. Y'all, this is my first time doing that part on Restream. But that was all that I had on today. Make sure you hit that like button. If you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat. My Cashapp is scrolling on the screen, or you can buy a coffee, and that link is in the description field of this video. Okay. But I hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday on today. Okay. I know I got to get up and start getting ready, but I thank you all so much for joining on today. And until next time, be blessed. Peace out.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.